I could have been called Samantha, Jane, or Jill, but I entered this world belonging to a 24-year-old who was all shook up by the pelvic-thrusting, blue-eyed heartthrob Elvis Presley. You guessed it, I'm Lisa Marie. I'm a wife, a mother, a woman of God, and an inspiring doctor. I was born in Lake City, Florida, September 10th, 1979, to a police officer, a homemaker, and a 5-year-old sister, Lori. At the age of 6, my parents relocated back to Tallahassee to be closer to my parents. I graduated from high school in 1998 and went to Lively Technical and earned a medical assisting degree. I've also lived in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and traveled through France. Unfortunately, money doesn't grow on trees, so at 23, I found myself back in Tallahassee, living with my parents. In the summer of 2006, I met Joseph Kennedy, who was to become my husband. Joseph has lived in Blakely, Georgia all of his life and currently owns and operates with his family J&S Donuts. We bought a house in Blakely and soon started our beautiful family. We have 3 children, a son, a daughter, and a beautiful angel in heaven. Our son Connor is a rambunctious, vivacious 4-year-old who wants to become a deputy sheriff so he can arrest people. Our daughter Olivia Grace is an easygoing princess who just at 16 months already has her daddy wrapped around her little finger. Our beautiful daughter Haley Grace was born sleeping and is now playing in God's garden. She is our inspiration to stay on the path of righteousness so that one day we can be reunited in heaven. Having a stillborn baby is something I will never get over or forget. I think that people go through trials and tribulations so that when they were up on that mountain, they can look down upon that valley and say, hey, I made it through. Because of my own personal tragedy, I am stronger, wiser, and more equipped to help others who are in the valley. Having had a stillborn, I am able to minister to those who have experienced a stillborn, miscarriage, or an infant loss. Last year, I organized a community-wide remembrance ceremony and look forward to doing it again this year. Whenever I write a letter or send a card, I add a personal touch to it. Some people say, love in Christ, or quote a famous saying. I write, some people only dream of angels, but I held one in my arms. This is my way of letting others know that I have not forgotten my angel. Ever since I can remember, I've wanted to be a nurse or a doctor. My mother always said that I was either going to be a brain surgeon or an axe murderer, because wherever there was blood, you would sure to be find me standing over it mesmerized. I would always be ready with Band-Aids in hand and a bottle of peroxide. You can see that I had a passion for helping people from an early age. I've always wanted to fix everything. In all reality, I know that there are some things I can't fix. But if I can make someone's quality of life better, then I know I would have done my job. I'm currently attending Bainbridge College in Blakely, where I'm preparing to become a registered nurse. While working as an RN, I plan on furthering my education and going to medical school. I know I've done things a little backwards in my life. Usually, people go to school, establish their careers, and then have families. However, I wouldn't change the way I've done things because I probably wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't have had the experiences that I've had, which include traveling abroad, working in various medical settings, raising children, being a minister, and learning who I really am. My grief is getting easier to cope with every day because I have an excellent support system, a strong faith in Jesus, and a little bit of pharmacological help from Xanax and Prozac. Having any kind of loss and going through the grief process, at some point, one needs to talk about it. Having family, friends, or even a counselor to help in expressing feelings helps the healing process. My marriage to Joseph probably would not have survived if we hadn't had a strong faith in the Lord. In conclusion, the combination of a great support system, a strong faith, and a little medicine has allowed me to get through my emotional stresses and strains.